So, on this top you'll notice it says, I'll move a little bit closer to the camera, can you see it? Okay. So, if I hadn't have had such a good teacher originally, and him say to me, I can't teach you anymore, Tony. If you want to advance and you want more lessons, then I suggest you go to London. And from London, I got my black belts, met Saito Sensei, become his person for the UK, followed him until he passed away. Once he passed away, I searched around because I always feel that you should keep contacts with other, like-minded people who are training also in Iwama Aikido, so that you can, exchange views, look at their Aikido, see if that you're slipping behind, or like one big family. You do make it more of a family thing the longer you're in it. Now, when I left to go to Greece, I was rather annoyed that some of my students left in the way they left. So I decided to just go to Greece and not be part of anybody for a short period, because I'd retired, built my dojo, and I would just do my seminars. People would come there from around the world twice a year, and I was happy to do this, and I would issue the standard certificates for black belts. Then in 2007 I decided I'd got to do something, because the Russian students and the Greek students were saying that the UK certificates wouldn't be recognised, as these two countries only had Aikikai and they were the ones recognised. So I joined the TAA in California because, first and foremost, I could have gone direct to the Aikikai Hombu. They're separate, okay? So I could have gone direct to Tokyo, asked the Aikikai. I was a 6th Dan, so I was entitled to do it, and I could have dealt with them direct, and I could have issued the black belt certificates, Aikikai black belt certificates, up to a certain level. Saito Sensei, when he was alive, said I could issue up to 5th Dan. I don't know if that's the same now or not. So as far as I was concerned, that gave us lots of scope. But I was missing the camaraderie of people. And in the TAA, there was a group of people that was from the same dojo that I first met when I used to go there first. One was for their teacher, and one was because Saito Sensei would go each year and teach a seminar there. When the dojo, when this teacher, would just say at the moment, went bad and wasn't able to teach anymore because there was a police inquiry about him, Sensei Hendricks invited him, so it continued. I don't want to go on too much about that, but basically the students who were high ranks by this time, in 2007, there was a group of them that I liked as friends, so I thought I'd join them. So I joined them. I could award the Aikikai ranks, but they would go through the organisation, and so I got the best of both worlds. I gave them my word that I would try and convert as many UK certified teachers who had UK certification to Aikikai. Some could afford it, some couldn't. So those who could, we did, and it still left a majority who couldn't. So since 2007 to 2022, this problem has plagued me, because every year I'm asked, why can't we convert more people? Or I've been told, you only joined us because you wanted Aikikai certification. That hurts me a lot, and it troubles me a lot, because Saito Sensei was happy with me awarding either one. He never put pressures on me. So I've tried several ways of doing this, and I've given the 6 Dans in the organisation the power to award UK certification up to a certain level. I have only been wanting to award Aikikai, and therefore I created my own problem by awarding Aikikai. But really, it doesn't matter what piece of paper I was awarding the person is either good enough or not good enough. But in 2022, I was being tormented about, I'd got to make a decision. I'm following an organisation that I didn't feel as if I fitted in anymore through certain political reasons. I've been a 6 Dan for 20 years, and I thought, perhaps they don't like me. Perhaps I will never get my 7th. I'm not a grade chaser, or else I wouldn't be bringing this up after 20 years. I'm committed to the art of Aikido, and still committed. And the point is, I had to make a decision. What am I going to do? So I went to talk to some senior people from other organisations who are 100% Aikikai certified. And to my amazement, I found out that, let's say I've awarded 200 black belts, Aikikai black belts. Some of them up to, when I've sent the money off for 5th Dans, it's $900, and the pound to the dollar at the moment is not so good, so let's say £800 or £700. It's still a vast amount of money, isn't it, for a piece of very nice cardboard that you'll put on the wall, and but you've had to be the one who's earned it. So these people said, well, why don't you go direct yourself? And I said, yes, I know I can do that, but I've always been bothered about being an individual. And they said, well, look, all the years you've been training, why are you still questioning it? And I thought, yes, this is as a person, I might seem a positive person, but this is my insecurity. So I can tell you all about the things that I've done, but this is my insecurity. And also, I'm a teacher, and what about all those hundreds of people that follow me and rely on me? If I just say to them all of a sudden, oh, there's no more Aikikai, I'm going to give you UK certification, I'm letting them down. I was the one that told them they've got to have Aikikai from 2007, and now I have Aikikai 5th Dans. All of a sudden you're not going to have them because I've decided perhaps not to bother with them. So their encouragement made it so I thought, I won't tell the teachers and students in our organisation. What I should do is I shall ask them how important this is for them. And I've had a response, and in my next film I shall be giving you the figures and the facts and my decision, what I've come to. But I was astounded in all these years that what I didn't know was, let's say out of a fifth Dan, even a third Dan or a second Dan, let's say a third Dan then at $300 and $350, $400 or whatever it is. I know it's $900 for fifth Dan. These people told me that half is kept by the person that sends the money. So I would keep half of the $900. And this made me think back, and I thought, wow, I thought that was expensive, and I really struggled. And when people said to me, Sensi, could we have a UK certification? Because I can't afford, because it was always half the money, I can't afford an Aikikai one. I'd got no answers. I said, but that's the price, that's the cost. Where now I realise, and through these people being very honest and genuine, that half the cost goes to the Aikikai, and half the cost, so $450 go to Aikikai, and $450 goes to the organisational person that sends off the paperwork. I was absolutely astounded, and here I am, a person over 70 years of age, gullible and naive to think that all the money was going to Japan. So it's a political money machine. The letters I've got back in saying, oh, I need to be Aikikai because if I go abroad I might not be able to train. In all the years that I've been in Aikido, nobody's ever refused me to train at their dojo. Let's say you go somewhere, you say where you're from. They don't often ask your level, but they might ask your level. You tell them your level, they train. They either say, thank you, had a great training. I've never ever anybody asked me whose certification I've got. But it seems to nowadays be a worry and a concern to the newer black belts. And as a teacher, as I said before, it's a responsibility that the teacher must take on board and not be selfish for themselves. And this is something that I've considered while making these films. I wanted you to have some history and my journey and how hard it's been. And when I talked to Saito Sensei about the loss of such high-grade students, some up to 4th Dan that I've lost, and they've gone to other senses, you worry that perhaps you're not teaching well enough, perhaps you're not a good teacher, perhaps you're saying things that aren't truths. But then when I can look back at the films and the books and prove that I am teaching what Saito Sensei taught me, what Sensei taught him, then I have lineage. I have a truth in my heart that I am doing my best. And did they leave for a different reason? I have no idea. Most of them tell me they're leaving because I left them, or they're leaving. I had a strange one once. I was told they were leaving because I didn't allow them to be close to me as far as asking them to do things in the dojo. When organising seminars and that, I didn't ask for their help, and they sought others, even though the others were senior to their rank, they felt as if I wasn't giving them a chance to be closer to me. So going back to I asked Saito Sensei, and he said, many have left him. And look at what he'd done and his life with Osensi, his life at running the Iwama Dojo as a caretaker. He said they perhaps don't like my style. Perhaps they feel I'm too hard on them. He said the biggest thing that he found was they're not committed. They want to have Aikido the way they want to have it. And the way he teaches or runs up his Aikido is just too hard for them. It demands too much of them. And this will be my summing up in my next film of my full circle and my decision on whether this year we apply direct for Aikikai or whether we do UK certification. Thank you for listening so far. I hope you're finding it of interest.